All right. Good morning, and thanks for joining our webinar on CMAS, that's California Multiple Awards Schedule Contracts. Just to note that we're going to be video recording this session, and the video and the slides from this presentation will be emailed to you within the next day. They'll join our archive of past webinars on our website. So thanks for joining, and our presenter today is Nancy Pigeon. She's one of our Norcal PTAC procurement specialists. Before I hand things over to her, I'd like to just talk a bit about our program and the services we offer. So my name is James Forrest. I'm the program coordinator for the Northern California Procurement Technical Assistance Center, which, as you can tell, is a mouthful. So we go by Norcal PTAC for short. Norcal PTAC is a nonprofit program set up to help small businesses achieve success in the government marketplace. We're funded primarily by the Defense Logistics Agency, the DLA, with extra grant funding from other state and local funds. And this is good news because this means we provide all of our services at no cost to the public. We're hosted way up in Northern California at the Humboldt State University Sponsored Programs Foundation in Arcata. And last year, Norcal PTAC actually helped our clients win more than $268 million in government contracts. Every PTAC provides 3 core services, all of which, as I mentioned, are provided at no cost to you. The first and the core of what we do is the one-on-one counseling. Procurement specialists like Nancy Pigeon can help you individually with just about any government contracting topic you can think of. If your business is located in one of the counties in our service area here that are marked in green, we can meet with you via phone or video conference to walk you through the many processes of selling your goods and services to the government. Because it can get pretty complicated, as you may already know. Second, we offer in-person and virtual workshops like this one on government contracting topics. For instance, CMAS. These are open to anyone to join from anywhere, unlike our one-on-one counseling. And we don't require applications for this. So you can check out our website at norcalptac.org/calendar to find more upcoming events. And third, we can set up our clients with free bid matching services, with daily access to federal, state, local, and even prime contractor opportunities. With this tool, you'll be notified when a bid request is posted that matches your desired criteria, and then you can stay on top of the opportunities made available to you and your business. So if your business is located in one of these 15 counties, and you're a small business, you're eligible to apply for our services, and we encourage you to do so. All counseling can be provided remotely by phone, email, or video conference, which is great, so you don't have to leave your home. That is always the case, and it's doubly so the case during the COVID pandemic. To apply for Norcal PTAC services, it's pretty simple. You just visit norcalptac.org. You can see the link right there on the page. Click on that red Apply Now button on the page banner and follow the instructions through step 7 and hit Save. If you've ever worked with a small business development center or an SBDC in the northern region before, you should instead email us at info@norcalptac.org or give me a call there at the number there, and I'll send you a special link to apply. Just to note that we are one of 94 PTACs nationwide. So if you're not in one of these counties, that's totally fine. We encourage you to look up and apply for your local PTAC. You can just do a simple Google search, find a PTAC, and you'll find your local one. And they should be able to offer similar services to us, to the clients in your area. A little bit of housekeeping here. To prevent noise interference, you're all started off muted today during this webinar. But if you have any questions during the presentation, please enter them into the chat window feature, which you can see at the bottom of the meeting controls. And we'll answer your question during the Q&A at the end. Feel free to unmute yourself once we reach this Q&A. You do have the right to unmute yourself. So be careful not to unmute yourself before then, but we'd be happy to hear your voice as long as you do it in a respectful way once we reach the Q&A. And with that, I will hand things over to our Norcal PTAC procurement specialist, Nancy Pigeon, for the main presentation. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Sorry, I had to get to the unmute. There we go. Looks like I moved ahead a slide. There we go. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear out there. As James said, I'm Nancy Pigeon, one of the procurement specialists here at Norcal PTAC. I'm also a former contracting officer with the Department of Interior, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the U.S. Air Force. So I do have some knowledge that I like to share with all of you. Today I'm going to talk about doing California multiple award schedules and seeing if they're the right state contract vehicle for you. Just a disclosure for this slide, the information provided in this presentation, the information is accurate to the best of my knowledge. However, some information may have changed since compiling this presentation or may change over time. So make sure if you're viewing this at a later date that all the information is still correct. Next is our agenda for today. We're going to do a little overview of the California Multiple Award Schedules, or CMAS as they're called. And we'll talk a little bit about what the products and services that are offered, the terms and fees, the use by the state agencies and local governments, the allowed and excluded products, and then we'll follow some steps to CMAS, and I'll show you a few things out on the internet with the application and how to search for CMAS and GSA contracts. So a little overview. The state of California established CMAS agreements in accordance with Public Contract Code section. You can read those there. And if you have some free time, you can pick them up and read them if you like. A multiple award is an award to 2 or more contracts for the same products and or services. So they're basically establishing an award or an agreement with several contractors that provide the same products and services so that they can be awarded to and have them available all the time. A multiple award does not pertain to the number of buyers, but the number of contractors receiving an award. So even though you get an award or an agreement, it's still going to matter how many solicitations go out, how many agencies will need the product or the service. And the CMAS agreements aren't established through a competitive bid process, so you won't see a solicitation for CMAS agreements where everyone applies or everyone submits a proposal and only the winning person gets it. If you want to establish an agreement, you build it and you send it in, and more than likely it will be acceptable and you'll have the CMAS agreement. All pricing, products, and or services offered must have been previously bid and awarded on a federal GSA schedule. So this is, they are awarding things off of a GSA schedule. So the basis is always a GSA schedule because they've already been competed and awarded. And so California is just taking the opportunity to work off of these already established contracts. When you're ready to do a CMAS, you complete the application and you offer the products or the services at the prices based on an existing federal GSA multiple award schedule. The prices, that's the maximum price that you can charge. You can't go any higher than what the price is on the award schedule. And then upon a review and acceptance, the CMAS unit will award an agreement. It's a separate agreement, not the GSA schedule, that includes the state of California contract terms and conditions, procurement codes, policies, and guidelines. And then for clarity, the CMAS program does not use the GSA authorized federal supply schedule. It establishes a totally independent California agreement for the same products and services at equal or lower prices. And then once a CMAS is awarded, the contractor markets and distributes the CMAS and provides the CMAS unit with quarterly reports for the CMAS sales and transactions. So it's the contractor's responsibility to market and distribute their CMAS, and usually you can find what state agencies are using your products and let them know that you have a CMAS contract for the products and services that they are looking for. So the offerings, suppliers can offer products, services, and prices from their own federal GSA schedule. So if you happen to have a GSA schedule, you can also set up a CMAS contract and offer your own products through a CMAS agreement. And they can also offer products and services and prices from a federal GSA schedule held by another company. And this is, sometimes this is the, or mostly this is the case. You'll go out and find a GSA schedule that has the same services or supplies or products, and you will take that schedule and do your application, and you'll let California know which supplies and services you offer from that schedule. You just have to remember that the price in the schedule is the price, the maximum price that you can charge. You can always charge lower prices, but you can't go over the price in the schedule. If you're doing a consulting or personal services CMAS, in the application you have to provide written substantiation that you're qualified to provide those services, and that comes in the form of customer references. They require 3 customer references that they can talk to determine that you can provide the services per the GSA contract, and you have experience offering those. So the term of a CMAS agreement begins upon the award by the CMAS unit and expires on the same date as the reference GSA schedule. So this means that even though if you pick a GSA schedule that only has 1 year left on it, then your CMAS agreement is going to expire that a year later unless the GSA schedule gets extended. And if it does get extended, it's the contractor's responsibility, your responsibility to let California State know that it was renewed or extended and to get your own CMAS renewed and extended. And there's no fee to apply for a CMAS. CMAS sells to state agencies. The state agency will pay the DGS an administrative fee. That's Department of General Service. And CMAS contractors not pay fees for sales to state agencies. For sales to local government agencies, the CMAS contractor pays DGS CMAS a 1.25 incentive fee based on the total value of all local government orders each quarter. But if you are a California certified small business, then that fee is waived. I think I skipped the slide there. There we go. State and local government agencies can use your CMAS. If you're not where you can waive the fee, you can stipulate that your CMAS is not available to local governments, and that will save you the fee. And then here it just gives a description of what a local government is: city, county, district, any local government body, the universities, public schools, and anyone who's empowered to expend public funds can use your CMAS agreement. So you can market, if you're into education, you can market your CMAS to the schools and universities. So what is available? This is just a short list. We're going to look at the full list in a few minutes. They're established for information technology, non-information technology products and services. So you can see there's IT equipment, IT services, and non-IT services. They also, you can also sign up to give brand name supplies and commodities, telecommunication service and equipment, and then multi-purpose services, so things that are kind of integrated. I figured you'd want to know kind of how they're being used to see whether it was feasible for you to get a CMAS. So I pulled some records from the past year, so it was June 1st to May 31st. I found that there were 988 actions that totaled approximately $6 million on CMAS contracts. And then I further broke it out into the number of awards. So we could see that 434 of those 988, so almost half, went to IT services, 233 for non-IT goods, 198 for IT goods, and 120 for non-IT services, and just 3 for telecom. I just want to say that I've had several non-IT clients who I've helped get CMAS contracts, and the basis for that was that the solicitation said that they were only going to be awarded to CMAS schedule holders. So I helped both of them get CMAS schedules. Still waiting on both of them to find out whether they have won anything or not, but the process is fairly easy. But probably if you're working with someone who knows how to do it, it can be a little bit confusing. But I just want you to know that I have worked with non-IT service folks to get CMAS, and you can, if you ever see anything that says they're going to award to CMAS holders, it does not take long to get a CMAS. So what is excluded? So all of these are excluded from CMAS contracts. So facility planning, medical services, construction, engineering, environmental services, audits, legal services, public works. These are all excluded from having a CMAS contract. And then they have a note about fiscal agents. And a fiscal agent is when a prime contractor has a subcontractor perform all of the services of the CMAS, and the prime contractor is just doing administrative work. That's called a fiscal agent, and that's prohibited under CMAS. Okay, now I just want to walk you through some of the steps to CMAS, and we're going to go look at the underlined items here when I finish the slide. So the first thing to do is determine if your supplier service is eligible for CMAS, and they have a complete product and service code document that you can look through and see if your product or service is available for CMAS. We then find a GSA schedule that includes your supplier services at a price or hourly rate that is acceptable to you. And I found a way to do this that's fairly easy to do. We would first go look at the CMAS contract search, and we would look up your CMAS product and service code and see who's already been awarded a contract and find their GSA contracts that they've used, and then you can look at those and see which best fits your requirements and your pricing. We then complete the CMAS application form. It's a fairly easy form to fill out. It's a PDF with fillable spaces. And as long as you already have the GSA contract that you want to use and some other information, it's fairly straightforward to fill out. You would then submit your application to the state. Right now, it's probably best to do it by mail, but I did have one client who was in the Sacramento area and walked it in, and he had his CMAS in just a few days after that. But also, the one who mailed it in, she did not have to wait very long either. If the state accepts your terms, they'll send you a signed agreement. And then it would be up to you to contract your markets to state agencies that purchase your products and services. And you can, if you do a little market research on Cal eProcure, you can find which state agencies are purchasing your products and services, and your PTAC counselor can help you with that if you're unfamiliar with how to search prior contracts. And that, I am going to show you some of these documents and how to do the CMAS contract search and the GSA e-library search, and then I will show you an application form, and then I will show you one of the CMASs that was just awarded for one of my clients so that you can see it all together. So if you just give me a minute to share my screen, I have to change things over here. Okay, so you should be seeing the CMAS product and service codes list. And like it says in the instructions, okay, sorry, I was checking the chat because I thought someone was saying they couldn't see it. The CMAS product and service codes are here. You can choose 12. And when you do your application, you're actually going to use this PDF to check mark which products you're doing. So these are the brand names. So if you happen to provide any of these products, you can check mark up to 12 of them to provide. So those are brand named items. I'm going to scroll on down to, there's a lot of brand name items. So if you do happen to do supplies, get this and check out which ones you can supply. I want to get down to the IT services. Here, let me just scroll down. Control F to search this is a really good thing. Okay, let's see. That's okay. That's equipment. So if you offer any of the constructions or copiers or anything like that, you can apply for a CMAS contract. And furniture. Sorry, it's taking longer than I thought. IT equipment. So here's all the IT equipment that they're looking for on CMAS contracts. And then the IT services that they are looking for to go on a CMAS contract. You can see all those there. Multi-purpose equipment, and then multi-purpose services. I'm not going too fast, but like I said, you can get the link from the slides and check out this document. Here are the non-IT services. That you can work on, look at those. And then we get to the telecommunications equipment and services, and there weren't very many awards on that. So, but perhaps if you get one and you market it, you could get more. So basically, that's the full list of everything that can go on a CMAS contract. And next, I'm going to show you the search. Okay, so make sure that you're seeing that. Okay. So here's the general service. This is the list, or the search for all CMAS contracts that are available. And here's the products and services. So just for this time, the last person I helped, they had GIS services. So we're just going to search that, GIS. And you can see right here, IT consultant, GPS, or GIS. So if you click on that, and then if you just search, it's going to bring everyone. You could do small business or disabled if you like, but when I'm doing this, I just search, and then it's going to return us. So these are all the CMAS contracts for everyone who does GIS GIS services or GPS services. And so what I was saying, I'm going to try to find okay, this one right here. So this is the lady that I helped recently. So she has a CMAS number now. So if we click on that, it brings up all the information. Let's see. That brings up that information, and then if you download the results, and I may have to make sure I'm sharing it, and it looks like I am. If you go, here's the base contract right here. So the best thing to do is to download those, and then you get the base contract, and these are the GSA contracts that these companies have used to base their CMAS on. And so if we look at the analytical moves, so we see 47 QR. If we copy that, make sure I'm still sharing. We can go to the GSA library, which you have a link in the slides, and we simply put in that GSA contract, and we hit search, and it brings us up. So this is the contractor that actually has the GSA contract, and if we click on that, this is the multiple award schedule. This is the one that she used. So what we want to do is come here where it says contractor terms and conditions and price list, because this is what you're going to base your CMAS off of. So we'll click on that. Actually, I think I have it. Yes, I do. Okay. So this is the actual contract. Let me make sure you're seeing that. Okay, you are. Excellent. Okay, so this is the contract that she used to base her information off of. And she was doing GIS, so this is the SIN number that matches what she does. We can see here's some information just about the contract. But we want to scroll down and look at, so these are the labor categories. So she would put all of these, the GIS in her CMAS contract, and then this would be the maximum amount she'd be able to charge per hour for these services that she was going to provide. Then you can go down and read the descriptions of everyone that you want to provide on the CMAS contract and make sure that they match with your staff or whoever you want to bring in to work on the CMAS. Just make sure the qualifications are the same and the degrees and everything like that. So that would be how you find a GSA contract, and I just wanted to make a note. So you can see here the contract period was 8/13/2019 to 8/12/2024. And so her CMAS contract will not end until 8/12/2024. And if this gets extended, she can apply to the state to have it extended, or she can provide a new contract number. Excuse me. Okay, so that's basically how you would go in and find a GSA contract. If this one doesn't work for you, you can always go back to this schedule and find another one that might work. as you can see, some folks have maybe used the same ones that are offering. But remember, you can always offer less in the labor category than what's on the GSA schedule. But you can't go higher. And another note, these 47, these numbers, those are the brand new GSA schedules. The ones that start with GS, they're a bit older. So just be aware when you're looking at your GSA schedule that, you know, it doesn't just have 1 year left on it. It kind of goes out for a few years. So that's how that works. And next we are going to look, I'm going to show you the application. Okay, so this is what the application looks like. Let's make sure I'm sharing it. Okay, yes I am. Okay, so this is a CMAS application. It does give you very good instructions for filling it out. It goes step by step, instructions for completing. So if you follow section 2, you can fill out the CMAS application, and then it tells you what instructions.
Audio dropped out.
Sorry?
But I thought I would just send an en masse video. There's quite a few people who are
Can you please go on mute?
pictures and videos of Black people being killed on camera and asking me to comment for my opinion.
Okay.
Somebody's speaking. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone.
Or have a chat. And
Now I'm unmuting Nancy.
Unmute me. Okay, there we go.
Do we have you back? Okay, great.
Good.
I'm not sure what happened there.
Am I there? Okay.
As a reminder, please, no one should be unmuting themselves during the presentation. Just a little reminder there. If you have a question, you can ask it into the chat window. All right. Thank you.
Okay. So as I was saying, this is the CMAS application. It does have good instructions in section 2. Section 3 has the application, and then there's some attachments that need to go in there as well. There's the references if you happen to do a professional service. There's 3 references that you have to provide, and that's the instructions, and then attachment A, then there's the actual forms, and we can look at those real quick. But I just wanted to show you the application. These are all the instructions. There's an introduction, CMAS requirements, and I just want to get to the actual application. Here we go. So you can see you can just come in here and fill this out. It's pretty straightforward, and like I said, they give you the instructions for filling it out. And then if you need customer references, you include those. So pretty explanatory here, how much you're going to provide. And then one thing under number 18, you'll have to click on and provide the actual that form that we looked at, the products and services, this form. You'll have to provide this, and you'll click next to, or you'll put a mark next to the ones that you're offering. There's the certification, signature, and then it talks about the customer references. And here's the customer references. So basically, your name, project title, and then the reference and what you did for them, the project description. So that's the basic form, and I think it does give you a checklist. Yes. So if you come here to the checklist, it tells you everything that you need to apply, so everything that you'll need to send in. And then it also talks about the quarterly activity reports once you are awarded the CMAS. So, and then this is the one I was saying that we did for the GIS. So she's filled out everything, and she's providing that. That's what she provided to the state. She has her. So here's how she filled out her information here. Got that one, and she mailed it in, and this is what she received back from the state. So she has a multiple awards schedule, and that's her CMAS number. She's good through 2024, like we saw on the GSA schedule. These are the state terms and conditions. This is her base schedule. And then the rest of this is mostly California terms and conditions with some of her information filled in. So this is what a CMAS looks like. It gives you all your terms and conditions, everything you need to know. I know I'm kind of scrolling quickly. This is what one actually looks like when you receive it. A lot of terms and conditions in there. It tells you everything about it. I was looking to see if they had the. That's the quarterly report you have to turn in, and there's the rest of the information. So basically, there's not really, if someone wants to look at that, they would go and look at the GSA schedule, and you actually turn in the GSA schedule with the pricing when you're, oh, am I not showing it? Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. The one time I don't check if I'm sharing. So this is the actual award schedule. And like I said, it's mostly just all terms and conditions. But as you can see here, the terms are the same as the GSA, and it gives the GSA contract here. And so it's mostly just all terms and conditions on here. So, but this is what a CMAS, an actual CMAS schedule looks like. So just wanted to share that with you. And I believe that was all. I want to have time for questions. So let me get us back to slides. Okay, I believe we're back. And so those are the steps. So if you want to follow these steps, but like I said, if you get into it and it seems like it's you're not really understanding, or you just want to do it quickly, you know, if you're a PTAC customer, please get a hold of your PTAC counselor, or if you're not, sign up for your PTAC, sign up for our PTAC services, and we'd be happy to help you through this process. It's always much easier when you have someone to help you out, and also, oh, someone's unmuted again, and it's also helpful not to beat your head up against the wall trying to figure it out. So, and our services are free, so we're more than happy to help you. And I believe, oh no, I have one more, sorry. Those still ones. And then I did provide some CMAS links with kind of the information I went over with you today, but on the actual California State site. So there's overview guide, facts, requirements, and then purchase requirement for non-IT services over 50K. So there are some special requirements for non-IT services over 50,000. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to James to finish out and ask questions.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
I hear you.
Hey, Jim. This is Harry.
All right, great. Hi, Harry.
Hello.
Do you have a question?
Yes, I do. It's a two-part question. The first one is, when do agencies look at CMAS? Is it certain under cost, like 50K, above 50K? That's one. The second part is, I'm doing the CMAS application, and I'm confused between information technology and Schedule 70. Because Schedule 70 has more, I think there's a limit on 12 brands are 12 categories, and Schedule 70 has more than that. So I don't know how to proceed with that.
So the first question, for anything that's available out on that CMAS listing, you can do a CMAS contract for it. And like I said, it's up to the contractor to market their CMAS contracts and let agencies know that they have the CMAS contract available. And this is good because they wouldn't have to compete anything because you've already been awarded that schedule. And so they would be able to award to you. Also, there are some, if you see solicitations, sometimes the agencies, they want to award to a CMAS, so they will set it out and ask for information off your CMAS. On the second one, it's probably better if you work with a counselor and we can look at what exactly the schedule you're trying to look at and find the appropriate schedule for you. Like I said, I usually go in to the CMAS contract list and look at the GSA schedules that are already being used out there to see if one will fit or not. That's kind of an easier way to go about finding a GSA schedule that might work for you. But if you're having trouble with the application, I would either sign up for our services or talk to your PTAC counselor if you already have one, so that they can help you along.
Great, thank you, Nancy.
All right.
At some point, if one of you guys can share information on how do we contact you for services, that would be great. Thank you.
Oh, okay. We have that.
Yeah, we've gone over that. That's if you put in a client application at norcalptac.org, click on that red Apply Now button, and you submit an application. That's how we connect you with our procurement specialists. We're more than happy to connect you if you businesses run in our service area, one of those 15 counties. You can find all of this on our website at norcalptac.org. So we have a good 15 minutes for questions, but I do want to very quickly, looks like I went ahead. Well, there's a service area again, but I accidentally brought it back to the beginning. So I wanted to go over very quickly a couple upcoming events. The next one we're having is later this month on June 24th. If you're interested in doing business with Caltrans, they contract all sorts of things. So we have a webinar on finding contracting opportunities with Caltrans. All of our webinars are at 10 a.m. So you can join that one. Just go to our website and sign up. And then we have this 4-part series on public works contracting with procurement specialist Ed Duarte, who's a real world-class expert on this. So I encourage you, if you're in the public works field, to sign up for those as well, starting July 22nd, 23rd, 29th, and 30th to close out the month. All right, let's get back to questions here. Let me sort through the. Yeah, I'm going to sort through them here.
I think I'm. Someone raised their hand too. So.
Okay. All right, so Ken Bishop is asking, currently there is no GSA schedule for our services. We have a master pricing agreement with Sacramento Area Council of Government and CSU Chancellor's Office. Would the state consider those pricing agreements?
They already have a multiple award schedule with someone? I'm sorry, is it at the top? Gotta find
it's about 6 messages down at 10:14 in the morning from Ken Bishop.
Okay.
It starts with, currently there is no GSA schedule for our services. We have a master pricing agreement with Sacramento Area Council of Government. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I believe the CMAS have to be based off of a GSA schedule. They won't base it off of anything else. But I am not the California expert on these types of things, so I think you should ask DGS, Department of General Services, about this question to see if there's some way they can work with you. That would be my answer for that.
All right. And you mentioned that someone had their hand raised. Oh, let's see. Was that Marie? Do you have a question to ask?
Yes, Marie.
Yes. Hi, this is Marie. Can you talk a little bit about marketing your agreement?
So marketing your agreement, I think the best way is to find out which agencies, and like I said, you can find that out on the Cal APEC. You can look for past opportunities and put in your UNSPC codes and see which agencies in the state have purchased your items or your services in the past. And then I would put together kind of a marketing, your capability statement, as well as your schedule, and I would contact whoever the small business specialist is in that agency, and we have a list of those that we can send out. James, are they they're on our website too, right? The list of small business representatives for the state of California. If not, it's on the state of California site, but we can also send that out.
Yeah, and if anybody wants that specific information, feel free to email me, and I'll get it to you if you can't find it.
All right, thank you.
Right. So yeah, it's kind of marketing like you would normally market yourself, but I would add your CMAS in there to include all your terms and conditions and your pricing, just so they know that it's available to them.
And their phone numbers are available? You can call them?
Yes.
Okay.
It's on the spreadsheet. The state actually has a spreadsheet with all their small business specialists.
Okay, so
we do not need to be
thank you, Marie.
physical. We just need to be able to. Yeah, this is from Corey Stevens. Sorry, I think I jumped in.
You can do. I think there was an earlier one from Natalie Clayton. Unless you would. Natalie Clayton asked at 10:25 in the morning, where do we get the list for CMAS products and codes?
Okay, Natalie, there is a link in there with that page that I showed everyone. You can just click on that link in the slides, and it'll take you to the site. It'll just download the PDF with all that information.
You will be getting a PDF of slides shortly, by this time tomorrow at the latest, most likely this afternoon. So you'll be able to click through those.
They'll get a PDF, but the links will work, right?
That's right. Yeah, the link should work.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of links out there for them. So.
Good.
And then Corey Stevens, you do not need a physical. You do not be. I'm sorry, I'm reading that wrong. I think. You do not have to have your own GSA schedule. You can borrow a GSA schedule from someone who has a GSA schedule. And then you will just, in your application, you will just, and you don't have to offer everything on the GSA schedule. I don't know if I mentioned that. You can just offer whatever your services are, whatever your products are. Those are the only things that you have to offer. And you will put that in your application. You do not have to offer everything that's on the GSA schedule. But please remember the pricing and the labor hours, that's the maximum you can charge. So make sure that you find the appropriate GSA schedule that reflects what you would like to charge. You can always charge less, but you can't charge more. Any other questions?
Great.
Anybody? How much time?
We have I think we skipped a question here from Jean, I believe. Jean at 10:32 is asking, can personnel on a contract be contractors, or do they have to all be on company payroll?
Can personnel on a contract be contractors, or do they all have to be on the company payroll? I do believe, I don't want to, I do believe you can do 1099. I thought I saw that somewhere where the employees could be 1099. Let me just make sure of that. This is Jean. You'll have Jean's address, right? Or I can send it out to, I'll get James the answer and he can send it out with his email. But I'm pretty sure they do not have to be your regular contractors, as long as you have the skill set that's within the GSA contract. So say you don't always keep a full-time, analyst. You just call them in when you need them. That should be fine as far as I know. I don't think they're going to ask you for your payrolls or
Yeah, Jean, if you can hear this, you go ahead and send me an email at info@norcalptech.org, and I will connect you with Nancy, who can give you the more final researched answer on that. Because I don't actually have Jean's address here. It was a limited,
yeah, I think
a limited Zoom representation of who's joined. We have another question from Marie here just now. Marie's asking, what if the schedule you are using gets canceled before the end of the term?
I don't know of a GSA schedule that's been canceled. They're usually for 5-year terms. I mean, unless the company does something bad and gets barred or anything like that. I've never known a schedule to be canceled. But if that were to happen, then you could look for another schedule and apply for another CMAS.
All right, thank you, Nancy.
I would do. Yeah. Uh-oh. Can you use multiple the basis?
We should read the questions out loud so everyone can see them in case they're not in the chat window. Can you use multiple GSA schedules as a basis for your CMAS? For example, one GSA doesn't have all the product services you would like to offer, but there is another GSA that does have some of those additional products and services. Or do you have to have multiple CMAS contracts? Thank you, David.
In that case, you'd have to. In that case, you'd have to do two. You'd have to do 2 CMAS contracts.
All right. Do we have more questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask if you prefer that method from typing into the chat window. We'll just give it a little time in case someone's typing right now. All right, well, if we don't have any other questions, then we could end it a bit early. Just want to let everyone know that you should have just received an email from my email address at info@norcalptech.org. That has a couple resources in it, and the first is very important to us. It's a survey that we'd really appreciate if you fill out. It helps keep us funded and improve our services constantly, which we are passionate about. And there will also be, as promised, there'll be links for the recording of today's presentation along with the slides. I'm going to get these uploaded probably by the end of the day, but no later than tomorrow morning. And this email shows you where you'll be able to find them. Thank you so much to Nancy Pigeon for hosting this and for sharing her expertise with all of us. And thanks everyone for joining. Once again, thanks for joining our CMAS webinar, and have a great day.